Hi, so this is another one of my dream journal videos, and uh, in the dream that I want to talk about in this video, this is a dream that I just had today, and this was just a few hours ago. Now, I don't remember too many parts of this because there were certain parts which I think I have forgotten and have become kind of fuzzy, but I think this dream was really interesting, and there is something very different about this dream, and not just this dream, but because it was dreams, and it was a few dreams blending into each other, but there was something very different about them. I cannot really describe them, but and it was visual. What was different about this? It was definitely something visual, but it's kind of hard to describe, especially with words. I mean, this is the thing. Whenever you're describing visual, um, some visual qualities, it's hard to describe in words. And it's just easier if you can just show what it was. But that is kind of difficult, and I personally find it difficult because um, I don't even properly remember what it was. I just remember that it was something very distinct. But as soon as this dream was over, that visual striking quality that it had, I kind of began to forget it. But I still remember. Okay, so what it was, I'm still going to try to describe it. It had something to do with blues. The blues, and also to some extent the grays. There was some way in this dream that the blues and grays were behaving in a way, not necessarily behaving, but they had a quality which is not something that I have experienced in a dream before. It has, okay, there are certain evenings where the sky has this grayish blue kind of color. Uh, it, and this is not necessarily every evening, but there are those certain evenings where that bluish gray color really tends to shine. So it was something similar to this, but except the time of the day in the dreams, it wasn't necessarily evening time. I think there were some times in the dream where it was evening, and it was that time when you see those kinds of um, um, colors in the sky and everywhere else, because it reflects everywhere else, and everything you see looks that kind of color. So I'm going to describe the first part. Actually, you know what? I'm going to describe the most interesting part first, and this was not necessarily the first part. So what happened in this is I was on the rooftop of a building, and what I think I was at on some kind of a street, and then after that I was on a rooftop of a building, and I looked up, and looked up to the sky, and there was this absolutely enormous aeroplane. And think of its size as it was way high up. So I think it was the size of, you could say, a large neighborhood or a small city. It was actually, no, actually it wasn't that large. It wasn't. Yeah, it was a large neighborhood, not necessarily a large city. It's kind of difficult to remember because I've kind of forgotten about it, but I'm still going to try. So think of a neighborhood-sized airplane, and what was on it. I don't remember exactly. I think there was on top of the plane. It was it was transporting a building. So there was a building that was mounted onto the plane, and the plane was going to transport it to a different location. And I saw that it was flying way high. And okay, there was another thing about this, and this is where me not remembering it kind of makes it fuzzy. But it had something to do with sails. You know how there are certain ships that have those sails on them. With the wind, it moves the ship. So this building had a lot of sails on it instead of windows. It was something similar to that, because I don't really remember this, but it was something very interesting. So kind of, you can kind of visualize this. There is this bluish gray kind of sky, and this kind of color everywhere. When you look up, you see this absolutely gigantic aeroplane, and on top of it there is some kind of a building which has sails for windows, and that aeroplane is transferring that building to some other place. So, so it was like something else. And this is not necessarily the weirdest part about this. There was just, like I said, there was a very different visual feeling about this. So, and that comes in with the part, like, which I think was the first part of this dream, where again I don't know if I said this, but in that part, the previous part with the plane, it was an afternoon. So it was an afternoon where, you know, you had that evening kind of bluish gray kind of sky. So yeah, in the next part, which is, I think it was the first part, which was before this, I was at some kind of a you know how there are certain buildings which have a large open space between them, which is enclosed by the you know, it is enclosed by the building on all sides, but on in the center there's an open space. So I was at the center, and I was talking to someone, and it was quite a busy place. And again, it was the same bluish gray atmosphere. And now, just me just saying bluish gray atmosphere, it doesn't really describe it properly. But like I said, this was very visual about something about this, and it's kind of hard to put that into words. But it looked amazing, though. I mean, the aesthetics of it, the way it looks, it was kind of calming, and it was serene. There was something nice about it. That's why I said that the visual part of it kind of creates an emotional effect. It kind of puts you in a really it kind of makes you feel calm. So that's what was amazing about this. So, and yeah, I was there and I was talking to someone, and there were a bunch of other dream people around, and they were just, you know, going about their business. And there was really, it was kind of a busy place, but there wasn't really anything out of the ordinary happening in this part. But again, there was that visual feeling around it. So yeah, that's where I think there were other parts of this too. I don't remember them, or probably they weren't that interesting anyway. Maybe they were, maybe I just don't remember. But yeah, I think this was an interesting one to talk about, mainly because of that plane thing. It was just amazing. And like I think um, I think this is a common theme in dreams, to see this kind of enormous objects. So if you've had a dream where you've seen something like this, where there's something that is just really scaled up, or you see something where it doesn't belong, like this building was being transported on top of a plane, where they're going to move it to some other place, and maybe they were going to like put it onto foundations or something. I don't know. So yeah, so if you've had something, a dream that is similar to this in themes, let me know. And so yeah, that's where I'm going to end this video, and I'll see you in the next video.